Let's be honest, you guys knew I was going to talk about Resident Evil 7 again. I'm not done kicking this dead horse. There was some new gameplay that was released for Resident Evil 7 that looks nothing like any Resident Evil game ever. And I just have to keep asking myself, what the fuck are you doing, Capcom? What is the purpose of this new Resident Evil? What is the idea behind this new idea? Really, I'm curious. The actual answer is that you guys are just trying to pull that fuck Konami horse shit, and you're trying to be like PT or Outlast. You're jumping onto that bandwagon of the new style of horror games, and it's really fucking annoying and really fucking pretentious. Whenever I talk shit on Resident Evil 7, it seems like inevitably there are dumb little fucks who think I know nothing of what I'm talking about. People that want to go, oh, well, you're just mad because the gameplay's different. Really, fool? Yes, I'm so mad because the gameplay's different in a series that has reinvented itself several fucking times. I mean, for instance, you have Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, you've got Remake, you've got Zero, you've got Code Veronica X. You know, these games right here are typically what you think of when you think of Resident Evil. They're exploratory, fixed camera angles, spooky environments, ambient music, resource management, combat, all that shit. But then, I don't know if you're aware of this, you have games like the RE Gun Survivor series, Dead Aim, you've got Outbreaks Files 1 and 2, and you have those other niche titles. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but it's 4, 5, and 6. You've got Revelations 1 and 2. This series has reinvented itself in numerous ways. And I get it, you know, people are like, but isn't the Revelation series just the same as 4, 5, and 6? They're both third-person, over-the-shoulder shooters, but they're drastically different. When it comes down to it, I get irritated when people are like, you're just mad about the gameplay. It's not the gameplay that I'm mad about. It's the fucking lack of anything Resident Evil. Now, let me be honest. If Capcom had come out and said, hey, we're going to make a next-gen Resident Evil game. It's going to have fixed camera angles, spooky environments, resource management, combat. It's going to have Cerberuses and Crimson Heads and Lickers and Hunters and all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be next-gen. It's going to have the fixed camera angles, but it's going to have pretty, graphics. It's not going to be pre-rendered. Everything's going to be next-gen. I would have been ecstatic. Because, I had to explain to them, back when Resident Evil 6 was being made, hey, maybe let us fucking move while we shoot. Because again, Japanese developed game and archaic fucking gameplay designs. It's like the West is the only one that understands that you need to be able to play. You need to be able to control what the fuck you're doing. Otherwise, it's just an infuriating mess. But now it's like Capcom sees that these first-person indie horror games have become popular, and they're basically pulling a Nintendo and trying to copy shit when you shouldn't do that. I'm sick of it. When I played that demo, I saw nothing that was Resident Evil. And I know a lot of people were like, but Brett, you missed the one piece of paper that showed the Umbrella logo. Yeah, because I give a fuck about one piece of paper that shows the Umbrella logo. That's so Resident Evil. Where's a zombie? Where's a Cerberus? Where's a green herb? I couldn't even... it would have been nice if I found a green herb. Where's anything that reminds me of Resident Evil? Do you guys not realize that that's a big problem? Like, when you have a sequel to a franchise, you kind of need to have something of the franchise that's in that sequel. I understand that things change, and as development time goes on, things will become drastically different. But when it comes down to it, why is there nothing about Resident Evil 7 that says Resident Evil except for the goddamn name? This is what we have right now in this generation of fucking piece of shit gamers. We have an entire group bemoaning that Metal Gear Survive has zombies. Oh god, there's zombies in my Metal Gear! We have an entire other group of gamers going, who cares there's no zombies in Resident Evil 7? Get that shit out of here. Fuck all of you! Are you kidding me? If Resident Evil 7 is a Resident Evil, then Metal Gear Survive is a Metal Gear game. Plain and simple, bitches. I get sick and tired of these fucking gamers. You got a whole group over here bitching. Oh, there's zombies. A whole group over here not bitching. Where are the zombies? Where is Resident Evil? Where is the shit I want? That's the thing that kills me. You have these individuals that don't care about the franchise pretending to care about the franchise. What are you mad about? Resident Evil's going back to its horror roots. No. If Resident Evil was going back to its horror roots, we would have fixed camera angles, we would have item management, we would have puzzles, and we would have zombies and monsters in some spooky environment, whether it be a mansion, whether it be a police station, whether it be an entire fucking city. Going back to your horror roots is not what this is. And I understand that a lot of people out there, again, think I don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are like, well, Brett, originally Shinji Mikami wanted to make Resident Evil a first-person game. Hi. Are we in the alternate universe of Metal Gear Survive? Because I seem to recall that he didn't. That's the thing that also irritates me about gamers. They like so desperately to cling to something that didn't happen. For instance, PT was a shitty demo. PT never got finished. Silent Hills got canceled. Doesn't exist. You don't know what it would have been like. So saying over and over again how great it was when it didn't exist is just as fucking stupid as being like, well, now they can do that first-person shit they always wanted to do. That first-person shit that they didn't do isn't what made them millions of dollars and made Resident Evil a household name. What they did do is what made them money. And it's what would make them more money if they would stop fucking it up. I just can't fathom it. I can't fathom how we have so many idiots in gaming today. These individuals that think that something like this is the next big step. They're as annoying as those troglodytes that are like, oh yeah, VR gaming. I don't fucking care about VR. You shouldn't either. It's another dumb gimmick that's going to die out just like 3D and just like motion controls. But we have people who are bemoaning real fans for wanting real Resident Evil. That's a problem. Do you not see how that's a problem? I mean, I'm not unreasonable. I bought all the other ones. One of these I actually didn't buy, but let me show you guys. I have right here, I have right here, Resident Evil Origins Collection. You know what this is? Fucking awesome. These games are great. These games encompass every single thing that I want in Resident Evil. You've got fixed camera angles, you've got spooky environments, you've got puzzles. Puzzles, for fuck's sake, because God forbid we tease a gamer's brain. Monsters, ambient music. Have you guys realized how, like, lately video games music has become more and more of a thing that we just don't care about? Like, I get that back when Resident Evil was made, you know, the graphics weren't exactly scary. It was terrifying for us because it was the most amazing thing we'd ever seen. But today we have shit like Dead Space and fucking Splatterhouse. But back then you had to use the music to set the tone. And the music was glorious. I mean, you take any save theme from any Resident Evil and it's fucking fantastic. But this right here is what I think of when I think of Resident Evil. This right here is the quintessential stuff. Resident Evils 1, 2, and 3, Remake, 0, Code Veronica X, they are the best fucking Resident Evil games. What's my favorite? 2. But still, this is what I think of when I think of Resident Evil. But that doesn't mean I'm unreasonable. Again, I didn't buy this one, but I bought it for PS3 back in the day. Resident Evil 6. This is what pisses me off the most about these dumbass fucking idiots. Resident Evil 6 is too much action. Really? Did you play Resident Evil 1? Please tell me you played Resident Evil 1. Do you remember how you finished Resident Evil 1? You're a fucking super cop shooting rocklets. I can't talk today. You're a fucking super cop shooting rockets at a dickless dude monster. Resident Evil has always had a lot of action. The only thing that was holding it back was game design and graphics. And when Shinji Mikami, not Capcom, Shinji Mikami decided to make the games into third-person shooters with Resident Evil 4, this was bound to happen. But let me tell you right now, it's sad when Resident Evil 6 is more Resident Evil than Resident Evil 7. It's sad when Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which has zombies, which has lickers, which has Cerberuses, which has Umbrella stuff, which has the G-Monster. It's really sad when Operation Raccoon City is more Resident Evil than Resident Evil 7. But that's none of my business. And last but not least, I actually really fucking enjoyed this one, and I recommend this one highly to any of you. Go check my video on it. Revelations 2. I hated Revelations 1. I didn't enjoy it. It had a lot of fucking issues that I itemized in a video that doesn't exist anymore because I purged my channel. When it comes down to it, Revelations 2 is really fucking good. It's enjoyable. But the thing is, people are like, but it doesn't have anything to do with Resident Evil. Really? Because, I mean, this Claire Redfield and Barry Burton, they have something to do with Resident Evil. I understand that people are like, well, you know, we've got to have a rebirth of the series. Then have a rebirth of the series. Make a new game with new characters, but you need to have stuff that's Resident Evil. And the thing that pisses me off the most is all the fanboys. Well, these demos they're not representations of the final product. They're just teasers. They're going to show us all this stuff later. It might even play completely different. Hell, it might be in third person. Then why the fuck are they showing us the demos? In my history of gaming, usually the stuff they show us, usually the stuff we get confirmation visually, is the way the shit's going to be. Okay? They're showing us a first-person demo because the game's going to be in fucking first person. Fact. All the stuff that they're showing us is the way they want to make this game. It's the way they want to take this series. They want so desperately to cling to that PT hype. They want so desperately to cling to the hype of the first-person horror indie games. Do you have any idea how many first-person horror indie games there are these days? Do you? Do you really? Go to PewDiePie or Markiplier's channel. They've played thousands of them. Maybe not exactly thousands, but they've played a lot of them. And when it comes down to it, I'm just not a big fan of that. I have Outlast. I downloaded it for the Xbox One. It's alright. It's okay. But I don't play Resident Evil to play Outlast. I play Resident Evil to play Resident Evil. That's what I like. That's what made me go out and pay attention to this franchise. And again, I like third-person shooters. Don't get me wrong, I like first-person shooters. But that's the problem with these demos. They're just showing us the shit that'll get the little fucking indie first-person horror fanboys hyped. They're not showing us anything that'll make actual gamers excited. I don't know about you, but I don't enjoy hiding with my dick in the dirt while some bitch with a lantern follows me around. That's not fun. I played Outlast because I wanted a horror experience that was different than a lot of the stuff I had played recently. And Outlast was pretty decent till the end when there was a fucking ghost. And I had somebody try to scrutinize me. It's not a ghost, it's a fucking ghost, okay? But with Resident Evil 7, I don't see anything in that looks fun to me. Do me a favor, guys. I'm going to try an experiment, alright? And I want you to actually do me a favor, okay? Close your eyes. I know it sounds weird. Don't worry, I'm not going to touch you. Close your eyes. Do you have them closed? Well, you probably don't have them closed. Actually, you're probably just like listening to my voice while you play a game. So here's what I want you to do. Visualize something for me. Alright? Visualize something for me. Ready? Visualize you're playing some game. Okay? It's first person. You're in, let's be generic, you're in an office building. Okay? You see cubicles, you see desk chairs, you see computers. None of them are lit up. Let's say the power's out in this particular building currently. But it's midday. You can see a little bit of light cascading through the windows. You can see, you see the sunlight coming through. You're in this room, and you're in first person, alright? Visualize however you want, customize however you want, but your character holds up a pistol. Pulls the magazine out, checks his rounds, pops the magazine back in, and cocks the gun. Alright? You're in this room. It's pretty quiet, but you hear something. You hear moaning. You hear that shit. Your character, this is like a first-person cutscene. Your character kicks a trash can, one of those metal ones with the mesh, kicks a trash can, and all of a sudden you hear shuffling and moaning. And you see at the far end of the room, a zombie stands up. He's wearing a tattered suit. His neck has been ripped open. His white, milky eyes staring at you. He sees you, and he starts snarling because he's hungry. starts coming for you. You're in first person now. So you hold the gun up. This is gameplay. All this is gameplay. You hold the gun up. You know, you can choose whether you have iron sights in your particular one. I'm going to say I have iron sights because I like iron sights. Lining up a shot feels real good for me. You aim the gun, you pop, you miss. You just graze the side of his head and part of his head goes, but he's not dead. You line the shot up again, you pop, and that time you take him out. However, making this noise has rustled up 2 more infected that are in the room. They stand up. One's on the far corner trying to get out of one of his fucking chairs. The other one is coming around the cubicle. You didn't notice it because you were in iron sights and focusing on one guy. You turn, you pop him too. You look at the far one on the end of the room, you think, I can wait a few seconds. I'll examine the environment a little bit. You look around, you find a green herb, you find some handgun bullets, you collect those items, you go and you pop the last one. You still visualizing with me? Alright, you visualizing? You walk up to the door, you go to open the door, and you can pretend it's got that old animation from the old Resident Evil games if you want. You go through the door, close the door behind you, and you're in another room. Now, of course, that gunfire's been heard. You got a shitload of them rustled up in here. So it's your choice. Do you fight them or do you run? Me personally, I'm going to run straight through to the other door, try to get out of this office building. You run straight through to the other door, you open it up, and you're in a hallway. You see there's an exit sign and there's a fire escape. So you go to the exit sign, that fire escape, you open it up, and you look outside, and there's just chaos. The entire city is destroyed. You hear sirens going off, you hear distant gunfire. You have all these different things. But, so far, does this sound interesting to you? I'm going to do another real quick jump cut, okay? Does this sound interesting to you? Think about it for a minute. You've got, this desolate environment, this cityscape. You can see in the distance there's smoke billowing out of buildings. You see in the city streets tons of infected, crashed cars, burning fires. Again, it's midday, it's not nighttime. It's midday. There's helicopters flying overhead. You see one helicopter has an umbrella logo on it and is carrying these weird canisters under it. You go down the fire escape to the first floor level and you're in an alleyway. Alright? You see in the corner there's a dead guy sitting next to a dumpster with a shotgun. The shotgun's pointed at his fucking face. You grab that shotgun up, you add it to your inventory. Still in first person, still playing. Start hearing weird noises. What is that shit? Next thing you know, there's this disgusting, red, pulsating, veiny monster crawling out from under that dumpster. Its brain's exposed. You can see the contours of its muscle mass and its blood vessels. It has massive claws on each of its hands. It crawls around on all fours. It opens its mouth again, revealing a long, protruding, disgusting tongue. You guys know what the fuck this thing is. Does that sound like Resident Evil to you? I can paint a picture with my words. I have to ask why it is Capcom can't paint a picture with their fucking gameplay. I would rather play a reimagining of the Gun Survivor series with shooting and exploration. You can put it in Raccoon City, you can put it in any fucking city, I don't give a shit. Keep going back to Raccoon City if you want, it's cool, I don't mind. But I want to play Resident Evil. I don't want to play first person Outlast clone. I don't want to play PT. PT didn't look fun to me. PT was not Silent Hill. PT was fucking PT. And that's all it's ever gonna be because Silent Hills got cancelled. Not a single one of you ever saw gameplay of Silent Hills. Not a single one of you knows what Silent Hills was going to be. PT, however, is what PT is and will always be. A cancelled demo idea by Kojima. However, with Resident Evil 7, it seems Capcom is going all the way. And again, I'd rather have another Gun Survivor game. I'd rather have Dead Aim 2. I'd rather have something besides what we're getting. Because it looks fucking awful to me. It doesn't look interesting. It doesn't look good. It looks boring, it looks tedious, and it looks like it's there just to make the little fanboys who love the indie first-person horror games, make them wet their pants. I've been playing video games for a long time. It takes a lot of different things to make me scared, and when I was playing Outlast, I wasn't ever scared at Outlast. I was frustrated. I was frustrated because I don't want to play a pussy simulator. People are like, well, the characters in the Resident Evil series are too OP now. Introduce some new characters, but introduce those new characters into the scenarios that our old characters were in. I would be fucking ecstatic if instead of my gun survivor idea I just described to you, imagine a different game. Imagine for a minute you're playing one of those fixed camera angles games, and you're playing as, you know, a little boy or a little girl, whatever, you know, some teenager, and they're in a bad situation. There's zombies, they don't know what's going on. Maybe they were on a road trip with their family and they came into a city and bad shit, and you know they took a dirt road because the main road was blocked off, and they're just trying to get somewhere, get their family, or get through the city, and you become separated from your family. All right, there's a good hook. You're separated from your family, and you're roaming the neighborhood trying to find a way to get back to your family. And there's zombies and monsters everywhere, and it's fixed camera angles, and you're going and you're finding items and things like that. You know, they could introduce melee combat, and you found a steel pipe or a baseball bat, whatever. But imagine that shit. Imagine that shit compared to this. What do you want to play more? Do you want to play another first-person indie-style horror game, or do you want to play fucking Resident Evil? There's so many things they could do that they're not doing. It kills me. It actively kills me. I mean, I look at Resident Evil 0 here, and I just think about how cool it would be if you were playing that game, that fixed camera angle horror game, Resident Evil game, and you're playing as that little scared teenage kid, and all of a sudden Billy Cohen shows up. Because I haven't seen Billy Cohen in forever. I don't know what happened to him. He's in Resident Evil 0, never showed up again in the entire fucking franchise. How fucking cool would that be? Who are you? I'm Billy. Come with me if you want to live. That'd be fucking cool. That'd be great. That's part of the reason why I liked Resident Evil Revelations 2 so much, is because it reminded me of 0 with the dichotomy of changing characters. And that's the thing, Resident Evil in the past has done some really interesting things in terms of gameplay. But I can't see how copying the norm of first-person indie horror games is going to do anything to innovate this franchise. It's a step backwards. That's all it is. Resident Evil 7 doesn't look as interesting as Gun Survivor. It doesn't look as interesting as Dead Aim. And Dead Aim is pretty fucking weird. It's just disappointing. All of it. I liked, you know, Umbrella Chronicles and Dark Side Chronicles, and if they wanted to do another Chronicles game, that'd be cool. But they're not doing that. They're making Resident Evil 7 into another fucking first-person indie horror game. And it pisses me off. It should piss you off. But I'm sure you've been pressured into thinking the way some of the others want you to think. I'm sure you've been scrutinized for your opinion. Me personally, I don't ever worry about that shit. I put my opinion out there. I tell you like I think it is. And you can either agree or you can disagree. But no amount of, well, you're wrong, is going to make me fucking wrong. It's an opinion, you bitch. When it comes down to it, I don't like what they're doing with Resident Evil 7. If you do, that's cool. You live you. Me personally, I think unless they change something, this is going to be the worst one yet. And again, I'm not saying it's going to be unsuccessful. After all, there's a lot of troglodytes out there that love that first-person indie horror shit. I don't. Okay? I don't. Thought PT looked like shit. The Resident Evil 7 demo looked like shit. This new, stupid gameplay with somebody hiding from a lantern bitch is shit. It doesn't look like fun, and it doesn't look like Resident Evil. And that's the problem. It doesn't look like Resident Evil. It doesn't have any correlation to the series. How in the name of fuck is Resident Evil 7 supposed to come after this? How in the name of fuck are these two entities in the same universe? Tell me. Tell me that. How are they in the same universe? It's just disappointing. Hope you got something out of this video. If you didn't, sorry. What do you think of Resident Evil 7? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm overly opinionated? Because I am. Let me know what you think if you choose to comment in the comment section that goes woefully misused on my channel. And be sure to leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down depending on how you responded to this video. Be sure if you're going to thumbs me down, you thumbs me down for a reason and not just because your butt hurt because you don't like me. Alright? Thank you. Anywho, Resident Evil 7 looks like shit and you should feel bad for liking it.